Hi, and thank you for joining Exploring the Connection Between Your Body, Mind, and Spirit when it comes to the media. My name is Silent Light, and this actually is the part three of the series of the dark side of media, uncovering the spiritual dangers of misinformation and propaganda. This is also in connection with the series I started with the Seven Mountain Prophecy. This is speaking about the Media Mountain. So, if you're wanting to get caught up on the reason why I'm capturing this information about the media, you can definitely take a look at the book review of the Seven Mountain Prophecy. But in this video, we're going to discuss the spiritual connection of the body, soul, and spirit when it comes to the media. And it's really important to understand how it can also impact your decision making. So keep in mind that your soul has three parts, and that is your mind, body, and spirit. It also consists of your mind, your will, and your emotions. So, understanding these three parts and how the media can impact them overall is basically a breakdown of your soul. So, definitely just keep that in mind. And, the reason why I wanted to point this out is that, when it comes to, your soul, your spirit, your body, that does impact your decision making. So when information is entered into your ear and eye gates, it then enters into your soul and spirit. So it's an internal process that takes place. So when your spirit receives information and gives information to the soul, and depending on the soul's response, it will tell the body if there is a conflict and what to do. Now, if the body rejects the information, it can become a battle internally. So, your spirit can reject the information as well, which is basically your discernment. And your spirit has the ability to reject something that does not resonate with it or is considered to be unrighteous. So, when this happens, or if this happens, your soul may not resonate and reason with itself and recognize the instructions given from the body. So, keep in mind the soul cannot give it what it never received. And your body plays a major role when it comes to receiving information. So, since your senses are connected to your physical body, your faith comes by hearing through your ears. And your soul is going to hear it, process it, and give it to the spirit, and the spirit will go through the same process. So, if you carry a spirit that's righteous and you're tuned into it and you have a connection with it, you will receive divine direction on how to process the information. Otherwise, ultimately, it will reject the information, including the source of the information. And the best way to do this is to not entertain any media that your spirit rejects. In this case, this can become a classic example of a battle of your mind. The spirit can yell at the soul to tell the body to stop because it can see the potential danger ahead. And this is also a classic example of how we ignore our intuition and use our carnal mind and make decisions on what we see. In this case, with the media, he can manipulate you into doing something. And this is also a classic example of how we ignore our intuition and use our carnal mind and make decisions based off of what we see. Another example is this is the power of your free will. Your spirit has your answers to make the right decisions, but if you can't hear it or ignore it because it feels good, then there's a price to pay. So the best thing you can do is stay sober minded. Now, when the spirit loses, it's like a computer downloading junk and diluting all of the spiritual information or blocking you from even hearing anything but the misinformation. In other words, do not be carnal minded when walking in the flesh, but we should learn to walk in the spirit. And here's another perfect example as to why, when it comes to trying to wake people up, why it's so hard. When you're trying to wake people up, keep in mind it's embedded deep into their subconscious mind. So it could be one of the most difficult things that you can try to do. So the best thing that you can do is just wait till they wake up themselves. And addictions are also a product of this process and how your mind and body works through your soul and spirit, which is also so hard to reverse and break. And this is also the case for bad habits. So, anytime it comes to the renewal of your mind, the best things you can do is try to deprogram yourself from receiving negative information, as well as addictions, bad habits, and so much more. Reprogram your subconscious mind can definitely be the best thing that you can do when it comes to the media. So, in this case with the media, what are you listening or tuning into? Are you practicing discernment and paying attention to what spirit may be communicating to you? Are you asking questions or researching? Are you being moved by emotions such as fear? Are you afraid of going against the grain and making and paying attention to what the media shows you, such as what others are doing? Are the decisions you make based off of what was seen or heard in the media? If so, this is an example of you being moved by what you see or hear. Now, in the next video, we're going to be talking about spiritual warfare, so stay tuned.